When you wake up in the morning, what do you see in your mind? Do you see limitations, or do you see possibilities? The power of thinking big begins with what you allow yourself to imagine. Every great achievement in history started as a small thought in someone's mind. It was not the size of their resources that made them great. It was the size of their vision. You see, life will always meet you at the level of your expectations. If you expect little, you receive little. If you expect greatness, if you dare to dream beyond the ordinary, you begin to attract the opportunities, the people, and the energy that align with that vision. Thinking big is not about arrogance. It's about faith. Faith in what God placed within you. Faith that your life is meant for something more than survival. Most people don't fail because they dream too big and miss. They fail because they dream too small and hit. They settle for comfort when greatness is calling. They tell themselves that success belongs to someone else, that big dreams are for the lucky or the chosen. But let me tell you something, you are chosen. You are created with a purpose that demands courage, faith, and bold imagination. The power of thinking big is the power to believe before you see. It's the ability to hold a vision in your heart long before it becomes visible in your hands. When you think big, you stop focusing on your problems and start focusing on your potential. You stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I succeed beyond measure? There will be people who laugh at your dreams. There will be voices that tell you to be realistic, to tone it down, to know your limits. But the truth is, limits only exist for those who accept them. Every person who ever changed the world, from inventors to leaders to dreamers, was once told their ideas were impossible. Yet they dared to think differently. They dared to think big. Thinking big doesn't mean the path will be easy. In fact, the bigger the dream, the bigger the challenges. But it also means the bigger the rewards. You will fail, you will fall, but you will rise stronger. Every obstacle is not there to stop you. It's there to sharpen you. The power of thinking big transforms your failures into lessons, your doubts into drive, and your fears into faith. When you think small, you live reacting to life. When you think big, you start creating life. You start to see every difficulty as a doorway to destiny. You realize that success isn't just about achieving things, it's about becoming the kind of person capable of achieving them. So think beyond your current situation. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Don't pray for an easy life. Pray for a bigger vision, because when your vision expands, so does your life. The mind that dares to think big opens the door to miracles. You have something extraordinary within you, ideas, talents, and potential that the world has never seen before. Don't bury them under doubt. Don't shrink yourself to fit the expectations of others. God didn't create you to live small. He created you to shine, to lead, to inspire, and to leave a mark that lasts beyond your lifetime. So today, make a choice. Refuse to think small. Refuse to live average. Lift your thoughts, lift your vision, and lift your life. Because the moment you begin to think big, the universe begins to move in your favor. Your thoughts shape your destiny. Dream big. Believe boldly and act fearlessly. Because when you think big, you live big. Faith and courage fuel big dreams. When you dare to believe that something greater is possible, you ignite a fire inside that no obstacle can extinguish. Faith gives birth to vision, and courage gives it wings. Without faith, dreams remain ideas. Without courage, ideas never take flight. Every great achievement in history began when someone dared to believe in the unseen. When someone refused to settle for the limits of what others thought was possible. Faith is not about ignoring reality. It's about seeing beyond it. It's about holding on to a vision even when the world around you says it cannot be done. Faith is that inner voice whispering, "Keep going," when everything around you screams, "Give up." It's the belief that even if the road is long, even if the night is dark, the dawn will come. Courage, on the other hand, is faith in action. It's not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward despite it. Every time you take a step toward your dream, you prove that courage lives within you. When you choose faith over fear, when you act even when the path is uncertain, you begin to attract the strength and opportunities that align with your vision. Dreams are not realized by those who wait for perfect conditions. They are realized by those who move in imperfect circumstances with unshakable belief. Many people dream small because they fear failure. They tell themselves, "I'm not ready," or "It's too big for me." But the truth is, no one is ever fully ready for their destiny. You grow into it through faith and courage. Every small step you take builds your confidence. Every challenge you overcome proves that you are capable of more than you imagine. Thinking big requires a kind of faith that refuses to let fear be the final voice. Faith doesn't mean you won't doubt yourself. It means you won't let doubt stop you. Courage doesn't mean you won't fall. It means you'll rise every time you do. When your dream is bigger than your fear, you become unstoppable. That's when life begins to change. That's when the impossible starts to look possible, because faith and courage work together. Faith gives you the reason, and courage gives you the motion. Think about the people who changed history: inventors, leaders, dreamers, and believers. They didn't have guarantees. They didn't know how everything would work out, but they moved anyway. They believed that something extraordinary could come from their efforts. They believed that the world could be better because of what they had to give. And because of that belief, they found the courage to try again and again until they succeeded. When you think big, fear will always try to hold you back. It will whisper, "What if you fail?" But faith answers, "What if I fly?" The power of your thinking is what determines which voice wins. Courage steps in when faith begins to tremble. It reminds you that even if you fall short, you're still farther ahead than if you had never tried. The truth is, courage grows each time you use it. The more you face fear, the smaller it becomes. The more you act on faith, the more evidence you build that you can handle what life throws at you. Thinking big requires this kind of inner strength, the kind that believes in unseen outcomes and moves forward regardless of uncertainty. So don't limit your dreams to what seems safe or realistic. Let your imagination stretch beyond your circumstances. Faith doesn't ask, "What do I have?" It asks, "What can I become?" And courage doesn't wait for permission. It creates the path where none exists. You are not meant to live a small life. You are meant to think boldly, live fully, and trust deeply. There will be moments when fear feels stronger than faith, when failure feels closer than success. But that's when courage must lead. That's when you must remind yourself that every person who reached greatness walked through fear before they found victory. Every mountain climber once stood at the bottom looking up. Every successful dreamer once had to take that first uncertain step. Faith will carry you through the seasons of doubt, and courage will carry you through the storms of struggle. Together, they form the foundation of every big dream. So believe that you can. Believe that what's inside you is greater than the challenges before you. You are capable of more than your fears will ever admit. One day, You'll look back and realize that every moment of uncertainty, every risk you took, every step of faith you walked, all of it built the life you once only dreamed of. The power of thinking big begins with faith, but it becomes reality through courage. Dream fearlessly, believe relentlessly, and never stop moving toward the vision that God placed within you. Because when faith and courage walk together, miracles follow. Your mindset determines your destiny. The way you think shapes everything about your life, your choices, your habits, your relationships, and ultimately your future. If your mind is filled with fear, limitation, and doubt, then no matter how much talent or opportunity you have, you will stay stuck in the same place. But when your thoughts are rooted in faith, vision, and purpose, you rise above the ordinary and begin to live the life you were created for. The mind is a battlefield, and every dream either lives or dies there. You can have a big heart and big potential, but if you think small, you will live small. Everything begins in your imagination. Every great achievement, every invention, every movement, every story of success started with someone who dared to think differently. They saw something that didn't yet exist, and they refused to let the world tell them it was impossible. When you understand that your mindset determines your destiny, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your life. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" You begin to see that every challenge has a lesson, every failure has a message, and every delay has a divine purpose. Thinking big doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means believing that you can rise above it. Most people live according to what they see, but visionaries live according to what they believe. If you only move when things look certain, you will never reach your potential. Faith is not seeing the whole staircase. It's taking the first step, even when you can't see where it leads. That's how dreams are built, one brave decision at a time. Your mindset has the power to turn obstacles into opportunities. When others see barriers, a big thinker sees possibilities. When others give up, a big thinker gets stronger. The difference between those who quit and those who conquer is not talent, it's perspective. Winners aren't those who never fall. They are those who see failure as feedback and keep moving forward. Every successful person you admire once faced moments of fear and uncertainty. The difference was that they didn't let fear control their vision. They refused to think small. They refused to live by other people's limitations. They understood that the only limits that truly exist are the ones we accept in our minds. The power of a strong mindset lies in focus. What you focus on grows. If you focus on problems, you attract more problems. If you focus on purpose, you attract possibilities. Your thoughts are like seeds. Plant negativity, and you will harvest discouragement. Plant faith, hope, and determination, and your life will bloom with success and peace. A powerful mindset also requires gratitude. When you start being thankful for what you have, you open the door for more. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. It reminds you that even in hard times, you are growing, learning, and moving closer to your destiny. Surround yourself with people who think big, because small minds will always try to convince you that your dreams are too big. Don't let their limitations become your reality. Protect your vision. Guard your thoughts. Feed your mind with positivity, wisdom, and truth. The more you renew your mind, the more your life transforms. There will be times when thinking big feels lonely. People may laugh, doubt, or misunderstand you. But that's the price of greatness. Not everyone can see what you see. Stay faithful to your vision. even when no one else believes in it. Remember, God gives the biggest dreams to those who have the courage to trust Him the most. You are not defined by your background, your failures, or your current situation. You are defined by what you believe about yourself. If you believe you are capable of more, you will find a way to create it. The mind that dares to think big becomes unstoppable. It begins to attract opportunities that others overlook. It sees solutions where others see problems. It finds strength where others see defeat. Your destiny is not written by your past. It's written by your perspective. Change your thoughts, and you change your life. Don't shrink your dreams to fit your fears. Stretch your faith to match your purpose. You were not created to live an average life. You were created to live a life of meaning, impact, and greatness. So, dream boldly. Speak life over your vision. Walk with confidence, even when the road seems uncertain. Believe that something incredible is being written for your life. Because when your mindset aligns with faith, courage, and gratitude, no obstacle can stop you. Your thoughts are powerful. Use them to create, not to complain. Use them to build, not to break. Choose to think big, because your mindset determines your destiny. And when your thoughts rise higher, your life will follow. Big thinking transforms challenges into opportunities. Every difficulty, every obstacle, every setback you encounter in life can become the very thing that propels you toward your destiny, if you choose to think big. The truth is, challenges are not the end of your story. They are the training ground for your greatness. When you think big, you stop running from the storm and start learning how to fly through it. You begin to see what others call problems as possibilities wrapped in disguise. Most people see obstacles and give up. They look at the mountain and say, "It's too high." But those who think big look at the same mountain and say, "That's the view I'm meant to conquer." It's not the mountain that limits you. It's your mindset. When your thinking is small, even a small hill looks impossible. But when your vision is large, even the highest peaks become achievable. Thinking big doesn't remove challenges, it changes how you respond to them. You see, every person who has ever achieved something great faced challenges that could have broken them. But instead of surrendering, they chose to grow through what they went through. They decided to turn pain into purpose and pressure into progress. When you think big, you stop seeing life as something that happens to you and start seeing it as something that happens for you. Big thinking gives you resilience. It teaches you that the delays aren't denials. They're divine redirections. It reminds you that setbacks are not signals to stop, but signs to strengthen your faith. Every challenge you face is shaping your character, building your endurance, and preparing you for the greater opportunities ahead. When you think big, you begin to realize that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. Each fall becomes a lesson, each mistake becomes wisdom, and each hardship becomes motivation. Big thinkers understand that success is not built in comfort zones. It's built in moments of doubt, fear, and perseverance. It's built when you keep going even when you have every reason to quit. Your perspective is everything. The same fire that melts wax-hardened steel, it's not about the heat of the situation. It's about what you're made of. Thinking big turns that fire into your refining process. It helps you rise above your circumstances instead of being crushed by them. When you choose to think big, you don't allow circumstances to define you. You let them refine you. Maybe right now, life has thrown something at you that feels too heavy to carry. Maybe you've been rejected, overlooked, or doubted. But remember, Rejection is just redirection towards something greater. Closed doors are protection, not punishment. The key is to lift your thinking beyond the pain of the moment and see the purpose it's leading you to. Big thinkers don't waste time asking, "Why me?" They ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" Thinking big gives you vision, and vision gives you strength. When you see the bigger picture, the small problems don't shake you as much. You stop being overwhelmed by the moment because you understand that every step, even the painful ones, is leading somewhere meaningful. Big thinking transforms fear into faith and worry into work. It pushes you to act instead of react, to build instead of blame. When you think big, you attract opportunities that small thinking could never recognize. You begin to see open doors where others see walls. You become creative, resourceful, and determined. You stop focusing on what you lack and start using what you have. You learn to trust that what's meant for you will not miss you. As long as you're moving forward with purpose, there will always be moments of doubt. There will always be times when the vision feels too far, too impossible, too hard. But that's when big thinking matters most, because big thinking is not about having it all figured out. It's about believing that you will find a way. It's about knowing that with God, with faith, and with persistence, nothing is impossible. So, when you face your next challenge, don't shrink back. Stand tall. Think bigger than the problem in front of you. Speak victory over your circumstances. See beyond what's visible and trust in what's possible. Every storm eventually runs out of rain. Every dark night eventually gives way to sunrise. And when that day comes, you'll look back and realize that every trial you faced was pushing you toward the person you were always meant to become. Remember, small thinking limits your potential, big thinking unlocks it. Life will test your faith. But if you stay focused on your vision, those tests will turn into testimonies. The road to greatness is never smooth, but it is always worth it. Big thinking transforms challenges into opportunities because it changes you. And once you change, everything around you changes too. Keep your mind lifted, your heart strong, and your vision clear. Don't just face your challenges, rise above them. Because the moment you begin to think big, you start to live big. And that's when life begins to open doors you never imagined possible.